Well, we're here with Jimmy Parker. We've been trying to get him on this show forever, and finally we got him. How you doing, Jimmy?
I'm doing great. How are you?
Doing fine, brother. Doing fine. Man, you got a great video there. You won the contest room hands down.
I didn't keep up with it on there, but how did it do as far as the voting goes?
Did real well. You had a lot of votes, a lot of response.
Well, great. That's my fans now. I got the greatest fans in the world.
Well, I do too.
We both do.
We both do. A lot of them are the same fans, I think.
Yeah.
But, it's great to be here with Jimmy. It really is. And well, Jimmy, I've done a lot of videos myself, and it's always fun to do videos.
Oh, I love them. I love it. It's very tedious work. It's a lot of repetition to it, but once you get that final product, you look at it and go, wow, and a lot of times it's like, gosh, I don't believe I did that. It's a lot of fun to do that.
It is. It is a lot of fun. Well, tell us some behind the scenes thing. Maybe I thought it'd be home by now. That video there, that's the one you won the contest with.
Well, I'm telling you, that is one of the best songs I've ever heard. When I first heard the song, I fell in love with it, and I knew it was one I wanted to record. And then when I approached Julian Harnacki to direct the video for me, he liked it too.
Right.
And I knew that Julian would come up with a good storyboard for it. And we talked it over on the phone a little bit. And we actually came out this way in near Liberty, outside of Liberty, Tennessee, and did the filming. But we came out like a week before and scouted the area. And that was a lot of fun, just going around, driving around in the countryside. And he'd take notes and take pictures with his phone, and said, oh, God, I'm going to film something here and all that. And, of course, it's a lady who lives out in Liberty, Tennessee by the name of Taylor Pye.
Right.
And she was very helpful with us, too. She, allowed us to be on her property and film some stuff like that, too. And it was just a great time. A young kid by the name of Jacob Harris did the little Jimmy Parker. He was from out of Huntsville, Alabama, and then
Trevor.
Yeah, he did, and that was his first time, I think, for video. And Trevor Sane, he did the older 20-year-old, the older in the late 20s, like the middle me, and that was his first time doing that stuff too. And he was amazing, and all the girls go crazy over him, though. And I told him, I said, "Now they're supposed to do me, Trevor, but I mean, I'm a little bit older, so I'll let you slide."
We've passed that stage, haven't we?
But it was a lot of fun, and just to watch Julian work the camera and direct, he's an amazing person.
He is. I've seen a lot of his work. This guy's really, really good.
Yeah, he's something else, and visualizes so much. I mean, just he's always visualizing. Like in the one part of the video there, we didn't even have this in the script, where the old man is sitting in the chair, right, with the sunglasses on, and that just happened when we got to that location. He was walking around and just having to look at that chair and said, "Jimmy, sit in that chair." And I sat in it, and he said, "Oh my gosh, what a shot!" And so he started filming it, and I had on my glasses. So when I put the credits down in the video, on the information of the video, old man in the chair was, "You know who it is." So it was me. But that was a lot of fun, just things like that. And he has it written out, he scripts it out, but he's got such a great imagination that things just, he sees it right, and he does it when he sees it.
It takes somebody with a lot of creative imagination and
sure
also
does.
a lot of knowledge to be able to see what's coming up next and picture it in their mind.
Exactly, and not only be able to do that, but to operate the camera at the same time.
Oh man, the camera's that's a certain skill all its own.
You better believe it.
Well, we're gonna listen to this video right now. I thought it'd be home by now, Mr. Jimmy Parker. We'll be right back.
Seems like it was only yesterday, but I can't tell you where the years have gone. When I set out to try and find my way long. But the time keeps flying by, just like the white lines in the night. But I press on, yeah, I press on. I thought I'd be home by now. This road that I'm running down won't seem to turn around and take me to my hometown. If God didn't give a damn, I wouldn't be who I am, out here with the lost and found. I thought I'd be home by now. When you set out to find out who you are, there's no telling where the path will lead. Sometimes the answer's right around the corner. Sometimes the answer's farther down the street. But dreams are made for chasing, so without hesitation, I press on. Oh, I press on. I thought I'd be home by now. This road that I'm running down won't seem to turn around, take me to my hometown. If God didn't give a damn, I wouldn't be who I am, out here with the lost and found. I thought I'd be home by now. If God didn't give a damn, I wouldn't be who I am, out here with the lost and found. I thought I'd be home by now, out here with the lost and found. I thought I'd be home by now.
What a great video that was, Jimmy. I love that video.
Thank you very much, Kenny.
You're welcome very much. I mean that from the heart, man. I really do.
Well, I know you do. I can see it. So, thank you.
And he's got another song, another video called Daddy. And this song just really grabs me deep inside. And Jimmy sings this song like I don't think anybody else could. This song was like it was tailor-made for Jimmy to sing. He really touches you with the way he does this.
Well, thank you. Great song written by Lauren Wolf, friend of mine out of Calgary, Canada. And when I first heard the song, my producer, Danny Muhammad, and I were listening to it. And Danny said, "That's a killer." I said, "I know." So we took it in the studio and we worked it up. And I had no idea that it was going to do as well as it did for me independently. We put it out on the Independent Music Network and it stayed in the top 10 for 37 weeks. We debuted at #1 and went back to #1 twice in that 37 weeks. That dropped out, then it went back into top 10 for another couple of weeks.
Wow.
And then we kind of like, we figured it'd run its course, so we did it and did another one, put another song out and all that. But the song, and Julian also produced this video too. I directed it.
Right.
And we had a great little actress by the name of Bree Townsend out of Fort Campbell area. Her father's in the service and everything. And if you watch that video a lot, you would know that some of the looks that she had, I mean, it just tore you apart. And of course, the guy and the girl that were the actress and the actor, the mother and father, Melissa Taylor and Wesley Montague, they did a great job. And,
They did.
And we had, in that particular video, we had people from all over the country that wanted to be in it, bring their kids to be in it. And because they knew the song, and we were talking about we need school kids because of the school scene in there. So we had kids coming from Kentucky, Indiana, Arkansas, Georgia, Florida, Massachusetts came down. And the girl that plays a school teacher in that actually got appointed the school teacher when she came down. And she was from Massachusetts. So
You got them from all over.
they were coming from all over for that video. And if I ever do another one, I've got fans that just, they support me. And, that's the thing about country music is when the fans grab onto you, they're very loyal.
Well, the country music fans are the most loyal.
I'm telling you,
fans
and
in the
they
world.
stay with you through thick and thin.
They do. They stand beside you.
And they all now, I've got them. Hey, I want to be in one of your videos, Jimmy. Next one you do, I want to be in it. And if the video calls for you, good. I'll let you know.
Right,
But
right.
I never know what it's going to call for until I know what I'm going to do.
Right.
But Daddy was a tremendous song, and Julian again did a great job on directing the video.
Yes, he did. When I watched this video, I mean, it almost brought tears to my eyes. I'm kind of touchy anyway. I don't try to cry, but sometimes, I'm a man. It happens every now and then, especially when something really touches you like that. And the lyrics to this song, as well as the way that Jimmy approached the song and sang the song, it really grabbed my heart and it drenched me out, man. I mean, it did.
It's touched a lot of people. I had a couple of fathers that emailed me on Facebook and told me, said, Jimmy, I had been estranged with my daughter for like 16 years. And he said, and I saw this. He said, I got back in touch with my daughter.
Wow.
And we're now rekindling the relationship.
Don't you love it when your music affects
When your music touches people
that?
like that, it makes you feel good inside. It makes you say, man, it's all worth it.
It's all worth it. That's what makes this business worth doing. And what I really like is us older guys, me and Jimmy. We're still kicking butt here. We're still
Speak
doing
for yourself on the older part now.
I think you might have me 1 or 2 years.
I probably got all of you beat out there. So.
I don't know, man. Yeah, you're as young as you feel, ain't it?
That's right.
And I don't feel like I'm old at all. I still feel like I'm a teenager until I start trying to do certain things I used to do.
Yeah.
They don't work so good then. But anyway, we're going to listen to this song, Daddy, right now. And as I said, this song will touch you. If you haven't seen this video yet, prepare yourself because it's gonna get to you a little bit. And we'll be back in just a few minutes. Here's Daddy by Jimmy Parker.
I was picking up the last of my things from my brand new ex-wife's place. With no goodbye, I thought that I could leave without a trace. As I walked by our little girl's room, thought I'd take one last look. There on the bed, these words I read out of her little book. Daddy, do you still love me? Daddy, do you still care? Am I your precious angel? Am I still your baby bear? Daddy, do you still want me? Is it my fault that you're gone? I'll ask Mommy not to fight with you. Daddy, please come back home. I reached my car with a heavy heart as the words she wrote came clear. I drove straight to my baby's school through a rush of blinding tears. I saw her walking down the steps as I brushed the teardrops dry. She looked at me and I could see the question in her eyes. Daddy, do you still love me? Daddy, do you still care? Am I your precious angel? Am I still your baby bear? Daddy, do you still want me? Is it my fault that you're gone? I'll ask Mommy not to fight with you. Daddy, please come back home. I ran to her, fell to my knees and held her heart to mine. I asked her if she could forgive her father's foolish pride. I told her how I loved her, what she'd always mean to me. I can't forget the words I read, how it made me see. Daddy, do you still love me? Daddy, do you still care? Am I your precious angel? Am I still your baby bear? Daddy, do you still want me? Is it my fault that you're gone? I'll ask Mommy not to fight with you. Daddy, please come back home. I'll ask Mommy not to fight with you. Daddy, please come back home. Won't you come back home?
Well, I told you that song was going to touch you. That song, Daddy, is just one of those type of songs.
Yes, it is. Heart, from the heart to the heart.
The heart's the best way.
Yeah.
Best way. Best way to get the point across. And Jimmy, you do that well.
Well, thank you.
You're
Thank you
welcome.
very much.
You got another video and a song that you recorded for the Soldiers.
Yeah, it's a song I wrote with Donna Graham. It's called Soldier's Worth It to Me, and this was done back around 2009. And we did a video at the Nashville Palace on it, and the video was actually directed by a college class for a college project. And we reached out to the Army recruiting team here in Nashville, and they brought their soldiers and all out to be in the video. So that was real soldiers that were in there. And the guy that was playing the part of the soldier with the hook on the hand was a real soldier too. So that was very fortunate to have those guys come out and support us. And that song has been kind of, I guess, a timeless song. I still get people asking me all the time about it, you know, and it talks about thanking the soldiers for what they do, what they go through.
Right.
And,
We can never thank them enough.
no, never can do that. You can't thank them enough and all that. But in the song, it talks about how could I thank this person? So the one in the song, the person thanks him by buying the meal for him and his wife and
Right.
and two little kids. So he buys his meal to say thank you. And a lot of people have emailed me and said, you know, I was out and I saw a soldier today. I bought his meal because I thought of that song. Well, that was kind of like my first experience of a song that I have written actually that actually touched people. And, you know, we've gotten close to 8,000 views on that over YouTube. And, of course, now Daddy has gone up a little bit higher than that, but we're pushing 10,000 on that. But Soldier's Worth It to me. It was really a touching song, and a lot of people, I've heard radio stations are playing it now, like on Veterans Day and Memorial Day and stuff like that. You know, so it's I'm humbled to know that it's a popular song with people out there.
I like it a lot myself.
Well, thank you.
I don't think we can ever do enough for the soldiers and for our veterans. They've done so much for us. And Jimmy, you support them just as much as I do.
I do. I had the pleasure of going to Walter Reed this past summer too because of that song. Some of the soldiers had heard it over in Afghanistan and Iraq and all, and a pastor from out of New York City and all, got in touch with me and said, I can get you in to meet some of these soldiers at Walter Reed Medical Center. And I did, and I went up there this past June, June 27th, and I'm going to tell you something right now, Kenny. If you ever go there and you meet these guys that have these terrible and horrible and horrific injuries to their bodies, you don't look at life the same anymore.
I have done that.
Yeah.
I did this Project Troops tour thing, and I went out to the different hospitals and stuff. And there was about, I guess, maybe 50 or 60 of them out there in the audience. And they were all in wheelchairs. And there were a lot of older veterans and stuff, missing arms and legs.
Exactly.
And you just can't help but feel for them. I mean, I made sure I shook every one of them's hand.
I went up, I gave each and every one I met a CD and a picture. And one little story about meeting one. He was a Corporal Josh, I can't remember his last name now. He was a Hispanic kid, and he was in the Army, and he was back, and he had lost part of his leg.
Right.
And I walked in and got Joshua Gomez, that's who it was. And I walked in, we were talking and everything, and he couldn't believe that I had come to see him. I said, well, I'm nobody. He said, yes, you are too. He said, I can't believe you come to see me. I said, well, why shouldn't I? You know, I came to thank you. And he said, no, thank you. I said, no, thank you. We were arguing over who to thank, right? But that's just the way he was, you know.
Right.
And even though he had lost part of his leg, he was ready to go back again. And all of them were. You know, I've met one that had no arms, no legs. He was ready to go back if he had to. If he could, he said, I'd go back.
And you know what, Jimmy? That's that patriotic thing. That's one
camaraderie
of the
that they have with each other,
the brotherhood.
Yeah.
I mean, they've lost their buddies and their best friends there in battle, and you know they don't feel like they've done enough.
I visited one, and he was telling me, he says, do you ever sing any of that Johnny Cash stuff? And I said, yeah. He said, oh, I love that one song he had about, I don't know what the name of it is, but it was about a train and a prison. So I started singing Folsom Prison Blues. That's it, man. I sang a couple of verses of it, you know. Mm-hmm. And he was just, oh, I love that song. I love it. Thank you so much. And as I was leaving, his wife was there, and she came up to me, and she said, I want to thank you. And I said, no, thank y'all. I mean, you know, for what y'all have done, what you got to go through and what he's done serving the country. She said, no. She said, I mean, thank you for singing him. I said, well, it was my pleasure. I said, you know, that's just the least I could do for him. She said, well, you don't know what you just did. I said, I don't understand. And she said, we've had stars come in here. And I won't say the names of the people that were there, but top names that go there and visit the soldiers. And she said, none of them ever sang to him, but you did. And she said, thank you. I was very, very, you know, just kind of like shaken with that, you know, just kind of like, wow. And, you know, I couldn't believe that, you know, if there was a big star in there that they wouldn't sing for him. But he might not have asked, of course, but,
maybe not.
You know, you know, it was just, that was just something that came from my heart to do, was just to sing a song for the guy.
And I'll tell you something, Jimmy here's he's a down-to-earth fella. I've had the pleasure and the honor of meeting him myself, so I can tell what kind of fellow this is.
Thank you very much, Kenny.
This guy's got a big heart, and he cares. And he cares about the veterans very much, as I do. You know, he's talking about stories there, Jimmy. My father came to see me not too long ago. My father's was in for 24 years, I think, and he retired, and he's a war hero and all that. Been in NAM, I think 3 different tours. Korea, 2 tours in Korea. And I said, Dad, let me interview you on the show. He looked at me like I was crazy. I said, why you look at me like that? He said, son, you want to interview somebody, you want to praise somebody, you interview those men on the wall. I said, well, I can't hardly do that, Daddy. And he said, but you speak for them. He said, they're the ones who deserve it, not me.
Yeah.
It's funny how they feel that way, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, they don't, the ones who are here and made it through, they don't feel like they deserve any praise or any honor, but their comrades, the ones they lost and left behind, the ones that never came home, they do. They feel like those are the ones that should be praised, and rightfully so.
Yep.
And rightfully so, because they gave their all. Well, let's listen to this video real quick, Jimmy. And I'm gonna let you bring this one on.
Well, it was a video that I did on the song called "A Soldier's Worth It to Me." It was produced by Jason Maslow, who was a video instructor at Nosy College of the Arts in Nashville, and they did this as a class project, and I'm very proud of them for the work that they put into it, and very proud of what we got out of it. A Soldier's Worth It to Me.
Here we go. A Soldier's Worth It to Me, Mr. Jimmy Parker. We'll be right back.
A little cafe on the edge of town, having dinner with friends, talking about the war in Iraq, wishing that it would soon end. Then through the door a soldier limped in with two little kids and his wife. I could tell by his smile with the scars on his face, they were the pride of his life. As I sat there, I couldn't help but notice he had a hook for a hand. It reminded me of the price he's paid. How do I thank this man? For those who fight for our right to be free, without him, where would we be? We all should thank those in uniform. A soldier is worth it to me. I beckoned the waitress and told her my plan. I'd pay for the meal they'd eat. I didn't say a word to those I was with. Some things are better discreet. I got up to leave and walked by his booth. I looked and his eyes caught mine. I extended my hand, said, "How are you?" He answered, "I'm doing just fine." I said, "I want to thank you for sacrifices you've made, and for the freedom you fought so hard to preserve. It's my honor, your bill has been paid. For those who fight for our right to be free, without them, where would we be? We all should thank those in uniform. A soldier is worth it to me. For those who fight for our right to be free, without them, where would we be? We all should thank those in uniform. A soldier is worth it to me. We all should thank those in uniform. That soldier was worth it to me.
Welcome to the old country store, folks. Cracker Barrel, home of the best food around. Goodness gracious, that just makes my tongue water. Makes you hungry, don't it? You'll swear your grandmother was in the kitchen cooking for you. It's the closest thing you'll ever get to a home-cooked meal. And Cracker Barrel's the home of country music. Visit the old country store while you're there. Wow, Kelsey, that was some great food there. It doesn't get any better than that. Nashville country music stars eat a Cracker Barrel. And don't you forget, my favorite down-home place.
We're back with Jimmy Parker. And we've been talking about being good back here in the background. But sometimes we get bad, but most of the time we try to be good, don't we, Jimmy?
Yes, we do. Yes, we do.
And you got a video called I've Been Good.
I've been good, I've been bad. it's a really funny way how that song got born, I guess you could say. I was talking with a friend of mine up in Indiana, JT Hollis. He's a DJ on Hoo-Ah Radio. And we were just talking one night, and he mentioned something to me. He said, Jimmy, we ought to write a song about the good and the bad, you know.
Right.
I said, yeah. So I got to thinking. And after I talked to him, I just started writing one night. And it came out, I've been good, I've been bad. And I was looking at it, instead of talking about a good person and a bad person, wanted to fit it to life. So I got in with him again, R.C. O'Leary, John Lott, and my producer, Danny Muhammad. So 5 of us wrote this song. And it's about our trails through life, you know, the road that we take. It's not always going to be right down the middle. Sometimes you're right, sometimes you're wrong, sometimes you're weak, sometimes you're strong, sometimes you're good, sometimes you're bad. And again, this was a video that was produced by that same college, Nosy College, and we just used me and my truck. And my truck, see, you got red Ford,
Right.
2004 Ford I got. That's more famous than me now because I was in Daddy and that was in this one. So
He's got a famous truck. now.
famous truck. Everybody said, "Hey, where's that? Is that the truck that was in the video?" Yeah, that's it. And they don't say nothing about me, but I don't care. But no, this is a cute little song. It actually debuted on IMN charts at number 6 when we first put it out, and then it fell off because I had a student at the school that I was teaching when I was a teacher at that time that told me, he said, Mr. Parker, I voted for your song like about 350 times. I said, what? He said, I voted like about 350 times for it. All I did was just kept hitting the back button and they let me vote again. I said, oh, no, well, no wonder it took it off of there. Did I do something wrong? I said, no, don't worry about it. I said, that's fine. I said, hey, I'm just honored that you like the song well enough to vote for it 350
And you get
times.
it kicked off.
But it was a cute little song, and I had that little Americana feel to it, you know, kind of like the Thought It'd Be Home by Now with that
Right,
banjo
right.
feel. We put that in there and all that. So we'll just leave it up to the audience to decide whether they like it or not. So,
Well, let's play that song right now for everybody.
all right.
I've been good.
I've been bad.
Sometimes we just sad.
Happy and sad. too.
Happy, sad, and
That's
bad.
in there, too.
Here we go. I've been good. We'll be right back.
I've lived life at its best. I've seen life at its worst. I've felt heaven lay next to me. Been through hell in times of grief. I've helped those who were in need. There were times I just helped me, made 'em laugh, made some cry. I've done things, wondered why. I've been good, I've been bad, sometimes happy, sometimes sad. I have taken, I've been had, I've been good, I've been bad. Talk to God, the devil too, said amen, cuss words too. I've been right, I've been wrong, I've been weak, and I've been strong. I've been good, I've been bad, sometimes happy, sometimes sad. I have taken, I've been had, I've been good, I've been bad. But through the peaks and valleys, all the highs and lows, the one thing I have learned, that's just the way life goes. I've been good, I've been bad, sometimes happy, sometimes sad. I have taken, I've been had, I've been good, I've been bad. Oh, I've been good, I've been bad.
Well, Jimmy, I hope you stay good just like you are now, brother.
Well, I think I've chosen the good avenue to go down now.
That's the best way in it.
Of course, life has its way of throwing things at you that sometimes, tempt you to do other things.
You
but
get that right.
you just got to keep your faith and believe in the good Lord above, and hopefully everything turns out all right.
Amen to that.
Yeah.
Amen to that. Well, Jimmy, what do you see yourself in the future? What are your future plans? What you got going?
Well, I just recently signed with CMG Records, CMG Records Nashville, in Nashville, and Stephen B. Riley was the guy that got me with his group and everything, and thought I'd be home by now. It's a big release right now with them, and we're pushing that around. It's trying to get some radio play, and it's getting surprisingly some play on the terrestrial radio stations around the country. I know Virginia, Michigan. Some people in Texas have heard it on radio, people in Illinois, and sometimes at the Palace, where I play the Nashville Palace, we get a lot of tourists that come in there, and I'll sing the song, and somebody will say, "Hey, we just heard that on the radio the other day." So I'm liking that.
Don't you love that? It's nice when people tell you that.
And all that. But my plans are just to continue to do what I do because it's what I love, and as long as I'm happy doing it, and as long as I love doing it, it's not going to ever be work. It can be hard work, but you got to love it to do it. And you've been in this business for a long time too.
Oh, yeah.
If it wasn't in your heart, if it wasn't in your blood, and you didn't love it,
I'd run away from it.
You'd run away from it.
Exactly, because it is a lot of work.
It's not.
Fun.
It's a lot of fun, but for the person that doesn't have that attitude with it, that's why you see so many give up.
Right.
The music business is all about longevity.
Exactly.
And how long are you willing to put up with it to do what you want to do? And right now, I'm not chasing the dream anymore. I'm living my dream, Hoss. I'm doing videos. I'm making music. I've just done my 5th album since 2005, and I'm writing some songs. I'm getting great songs pitched to me. Thought I'd be home by now was pitched to me. It was one of those songs that found me. I didn't have to go looking for it. And,
well, you got people pitching songs to you. You're doing something right.
You're doing something right. They like the way you sing or something, or the way you interpret the song. So that means a lot, and that humbles you too.
Yes, it does.
And I'm always a stickler that says that it doesn't matter who wrote the song. A great song is a great song.
I agree with you.
I know some guy, well, I'm not going to record anything unless I wrote it. Hey, not me. If it's a great song, I'm going to record it if they'll let me. And but my future plans, wherever it takes me, is the way I am.
Follow the music. Follow the music.
Follow the music. Follow my dream. It's not important to me to be that big superstar. But as long as I can get out there, if I can make a living and be comfortable with it, I'm happy.
Right.
Because I'm doing what I like to do.
Well, people don't understand this. I mean, we've been in this a long, long time. But it's us. Our music is us. This is Jimmy. Jimmy's music is Jimmy. Kenny Lee's music is Kenny Lee's music. It's what we live for. I mean, we live for the music and the fans. Without the fans, it's meaningless, really.
That's true, and that's why I'm still here where I'm at, because of my fans.
To the day I die, I'll be singing, and I know you will be.
I'll try to.
Yeah, as long as I got a voice, it's coming out.
Yeah. I've palled around with some great stars. Tim McGraw, Tracy Lawrence, Jody Messina. All of those were friends back in the days, early '90s, when everybody got here together. And of course, more power to them. They got the breaks. They're talented people, great singers, songwriters, and all that. And of course, I was a little bit older than they were. So I'm not saying that age has anything to do with it, because to me, it doesn't matter how old you are. If you can sing, you can sing.
Exactly. Age should not have anything.
And that's the thing. I think the industry itself looks at age.
Well, they do.
They do. And I think that they kind of, they don't come out and say, we're not going to sign anybody over 26 years old. If they did like that, then, you have all kind of lawsuits. Yeah.
But there are a lot of good young artists. I'm not knocking them.
Yeah, we kind of touched on this before we started the interview and all, and I think some of the music that they're putting out today, I particularly don't call country.
It's not.
But I respect the people that are doing it. They're talented people, and they're out there doing their thing. I think it's what's hurting the business is that the industry is putting a mold on it and want to stay with this one little genre instead of spreading out. And I'll tell you another area where older country music singers should think about going, and that's what I'm doing now, is I'm starting to touch into this realm, is the Americana.
Oh, I agree.
Because Americana doesn't care if you got wrinkles around the eyes or not. They don't care. A good song to them is a good song. And we're getting ready to push Thought I'd Be Home by Now on Americana Radio. We've got a little group that's already formed up called Homemade Promotions, and it's 5 of us involved, and we're going to be hitting the Americana radio stations with it.
Well, I think you ought to hit it hard.
We're going to hit it as hard as we can, as much as we can be allowed to.
You got something good there.
Yeah,
I'm like Jimmy. I don't think age should matter at all.
No.
I don't think.
I would hold, like Ronald Reagan said in this debate, when it comes to Taylor Swift and all them guys, I'd never hold youth against them.
No. We're not holding youth against them at all.
I respect them highly.
Yeah, right.
I really do. I
do
respect all of them.
She's really a sweet girl. Though.
She's sweet.
I've met her. I knew her a little bit.
I've never met her, but I've read things about her because I study people.
She's a good kid.
And
really
she's very savvy with business. She knows what she's doing.
Oh, yeah. So was Garth Brooks.
Garth Brooks is another one. Now, I've met Garth. Yeah.
He was a genius at promoting and marketing. Marketing, man.
Yeah, knew what he had
Garth
to do.
knew exactly what to do. Yeah. Exactly. And how to do it. And how to implement.
Yeah.
That's what it takes. But there's room out there in the country music business for everybody, all ages. The major labels should never limit anything to any certain age, or I don't think it's right. There's a whole big market out there that's not being sold to.
That's true.
And they're missing out on a lot of money.
I think so. I do fairly well myself on the internet with CD sales, and I sell at my gigs. Yeah.
Well, when you're good, you're good, and they're going to want to buy it.
Yeah.
People
you're good,
you're
good. You're bad, you're bad, right?
Bad. Oh, Jimmy, well, thank you very, very much, sir, for coming on the show.
Me. I appreciate being here, and I hope all you fans like the music and stuff. And if they'd like to hear more and some of the songs off my new CD, Home, they can go to my website, www.jimmyparkermusic.com.
You heard him, folks. Make sure you go there and buy a CD from Jimmy while you're at it. Jimmy, you have any T-shirts or anything for sale too?
I really don't. I don't do too much on the clothing aspects of it. I haven't had too much luck selling that. So I'm just sticking with CDs right now. Yeah.
And probably give you an autographed picture with that CD.
Yeah. I do have 4 CDs available. It's Home, More Than You Know, Real Deal, and there's another one I think I got in there somewhere.
You can lose the track.
3 or 4 CDs. But if you buy the whole group of them, I throw an autographed picture in there too. So
there you go.
Yeah.
Thank you for coming on again, Jimmy, and God bless you, brother. We're going to keep on going with the show here because I told you tonight was a special, so we got a lot more to go. So hang in there, and we'll be back in just a few minutes after this. Thank you, Jimmy Parker, for coming on the show. God bless you, fans. I love you. Good night.
This is the last cowboy song, the end of 100-year waltz. The voices sound sad.